Spy Family is anime's answer to Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's an instant classic, maybe purely due to its refreshing angle on comedy and action with an even more interesting cast composition. The execution of this anime is in no small part aided by the superhero team-up of Monster Studios' Cloverworks and Wit Studio. The animation is well above average and the overall production quality leaves little in the way of potential improvement. With all of this, however, I think the greatest credit to this anime remains the uniqueness of the source material, and beyond the strange cast composition is a setting which is very unfamiliar in anime. The setting is exceptionally unique but left me scratching my head sometimes asking where and when is this show taking place. The where isn't hard to answer because with obvious Cold War themes and references to the wall, it's obvious that the fictional countries of Ostania and Westalis are based on East and West Germany respectively, with the majority of the story occurring in fictional East Germany, Ostania. The when, however, is a more difficult proposition to answer. So much so in fact that I have dedicated the rest of the video to that discussion. Hey everyone, welcome to Aniprop, let's get into it. So with Ostania and Westalis being based on East and West Germany, and the spy content of the anime, we can assume that Spy X Family is happening in a time period reminiscent of the Cold War. This spans from 1947 to 1991. That's a wide margin though, so let's try to narrow it down a little more. The fashion in the anime is top tier, and the majority of styles on display are consistent with the early 1960s aesthetic. This is covered in great detail by this Reddit user. Jenny Esposito gives us some high quality fashion analysis here. He states that Lloyd wears a simple 3-piece suit with a flap pocket and 5 buttons, and 2 pockets waistcoat, which was common in the 40s and 50s but lost its popularity in the 60s. He also wears a fedora when he's out, which means that the manga or anime is set before the middle of the 60s in our timeline, because in 1961 President John F. Kennedy going hatless at his inauguration, and that introduced a decline in hat wearing. This fashion analysis seems simplistic but is very compelling. The technology, however, is incongruent with the proposed 1960s date, because some of the motor vehicles and electronics present in the anime would place it in the early 90s. The theory of the anime being set in the 90s is given weight by an on-screen document when Lloyd is attempting to locate a suitable wife candidate. We can clearly see that Yor is born in 1963. We are told that she is 27 in that same episode. This means that the anime starts in 1990. We can find date evidence in the anime to contradict this, however, as a newspaper in the anime shows the year as 1962, which mostly matches the other evidence pieces covered so far. Not much of a case, but another point that supports the 90s theory is the popularity of the name Anya. The name had a boom of popularity in the mid-1980s, and Anya is 6 when the anime starts. I will end this brief discourse with a quote from the writer himself. I draw this manga with the idea that it's set in the 60s or 70s, but it ends up as a mishmash of the present and past. This happens because I frequently have to ask myself if something existed during that time period, and if I can't find the answer, I just shrug it off and think, well, this is a fictional country. So I think we can conclude that the manga's setting may be the entire Cold War period condensed into a single current time in this fictional world. Whatever the exact date, the anime does a good job of conveying the moment in history in which the viewers should place the story. Thanks for watching today. Please like and subscribe. Regards, Aniprop.